Hey, welcome to my podcast. My name is Dr. Brendan McCarthy. I am the Chief Medical Officer of Protea Medical Center in Tempe, Arizona. Thank you so much for tuning in to the podcast. I'm glad you're here. And today we're going to keep moving forward with our discussion on self-silencing and women and the impact that self-silencing has on health. And today I wanted to focus specifically on fertility. And this has been a great arc for me of episodes. When I prepare for these episodes, when I research them, I spend a lot of time reading and thinking, because I could come in here and just blind fire what I do every day. I can tell you cases that I see, and I can tell you what I just saw the other day, and I can tell you how I traded it and whatever. But I use this as an opportunity to be like, okay, I want to talk specifically about, in this case, self-silencing, and instead of just blind firing, what I already know, it lets me circle back and spend a lot of time researching it and filling out more in my own understanding, developing it further. These podcasts are opportunities for me to spend a lot of time further deeply researching the things that I'm passionate about in medicine. And it's a win-win. The doctors I work with, they're a team of us. There are 9 of us now, and our 10, about to be 10. We have a resident about to join us. I'm excited about. But the thing we have in common is what I love about us together is we spend a lot of time researching for fun. We go down these rabbit holes of reading and learning and developing our understanding of something, not because we're required to, because we're passionate about it, excited about it. So for me to be able to do that thing that I love to do, learn more about this and become more well-rounded in what I do, which I'm passionate about already, and then also be of service while I'm actually doing it, win-win. So let's get into the material. This is a deep one for me because fertility is near and dear to my heart. There's very few things that I do in practice that I feel so emotionally connected to. I'm emotionally connected to all the stuff I do, but this one has a special place in my heart. Something about fertility is it's a beautiful thing, and it pulls from me my best self always. I want to be the best doctor I can be when I go in the room with that woman and that man, that couple. I just want to be the best I can be always in those moments, because it's such a big part of our lives for those of us who choose to be parents. Self-silencing, there's a couple ways that self-silencing fits into this. Now, remember, self-silencing is a condition that happens to women. It's cultural. It's something that is very common in our society. I see it consistently. It's common around the world. And it's a way that women have been raised to edit themselves, the way that they're present in the room. So they don't always speak their mind because they feel that if they spoke their mind, they would not be welcome in that space. They'd be rejected. They judge their appearance based upon how other people would perceive them. Externalization of their own self. They're just a lot of times we give ourselves impossible ideals to replicate or live to. The perfect mom, the perfect wife, the perfect parent. Mom and parent is the same, but you know what I'm saying. You have to look a certain way. You have to have the right house, the right cars, the right clothes. You have to say the right things. Your children have to do the right sports. Children have to get the right grades. You have to look a certain way, curated online. This is self-silencing because that's not you. That's the projection that you think you're supposed to project into the world so that you have value. A lot of this is built into the value that women are given, how they're to value themselves. And there's the aspect of it where you're valued for being docile, meek, obedient, where you are valued for your self-sacrifice to others, that you show care to others by sacrificing yourself. And that's when you're going to, go and take care of everybody first, but never you, never you. And the thing about this is that, so many of us women have been raised in that way, and it has consequences over time. As we mentioned in previous episodes, there's a direct link between that and carotid artery intima thickness, and that's associated with higher risk factors for heart attacks. And women have higher rates of mortality from heart disease. That's a fact. Women die at higher rates from heart attacks than men do. We know the impact it has on autoimmunity. We know the impact it has on weight. Today I want to talk about with fertility. In the sense of fertility, it's got a lot going on with it. There's two aspects of it that are important. The first one I'm going to talk about is how, when you are conditioned to present yourself in a certain way and somehow or another your body is not cooperating, that creates a type of crisis that is very difficult to reconcile. Meaning, your values were established upon your ability to become a mother. And if you're not able to conceive easily or not able to conceive, your value as a human being, there is none. Now, I want you to know there are many women out there that were not raised this way, who do not have this mindset, and I know that. And to those women, please understand, I'm not addressing you in this moment. I'm speaking to the women that were raised that way, that still have this thought process in their minds that they themselves do not have value if they're not a mother, or if they don't have the right amount of children, or even the right gender of child. When this happens with women, it's very difficult for them to navigate the space of healthcare with fertility questions and concerns, because there's so much shame that they have that they've been conceived. And the medical system that we are in now has zero capacity or understanding of this concept in regards to self-silencing in women and fertility. They just don't really grasp it. I don't know of any fertility specialists that have written on this or published or discussed it. It's not out there. But still, it is a thing. Just because people haven't published it doesn't mean it's not happening. Other ways of self-silencing are important, and this is what I want to drill down a little bit into with you guys. I pull back when I say the word guys a lot, because I've had people comment like, we're not guys, we're women. I know. I work with women. Most of the people in my office are women, and a lot of them use the term, hey, you guys, and they're talking to each other. So I get nervous sometimes coming to this space with you. I get nervous coming to this space too, because I want to do a good job. And I want to slip past defenses. I want to slip past and tiptoe around triggers in order to reach a deeper place with you and do something good. And in this moment, I want to speak to you about the desire to be a mom, and how when we are raised in high stress environments and we are told to behave a certain way that is not consistent with what is healthy, we're supposed to communicate. You're supposed to share your feelings. There's always, you deserve a place to communicate how you feel when you're upset. You deserve to appear as you appear, and you are beautiful as you are. Just because you don't look like someone doesn't mean you don't look beautiful. Look like someone special. You know what I'm trying to say? You get my point. I'm trying to step into this space with you. And it's such a charged place, because we learn these things before we have a choice to choose to agree with these things we've been taught or not agree. A lot of us were raised thinking this way about ourselves from the outset, that we are meant to be meek or obedient or docile, or you're only supposed to speak when spoken to, and you're not allowed to be angry, and you have to look a certain way. A lot of us, you didn't have a choice. It was given to you before you were able to make a choice. And now you are an adult trying to navigate this hardwired problem of thought processes about how to be in the world and the impact it's having on your ability to be a mom, which is a beautiful biological thing. I love it. So when you have chronic stress over these things, it's understood that you don't ovulate. That's the impact of stress on our bodies. Chronic stress, repetitive stress over and over again make it very difficult to conceive because your body's more inclined to push down towards this pathway in your adrenals, pushing towards making cortisol. So you're going to take where progesterone is supposed to be, and your body's going to try and convert that to cortisol as quickly as possible. So you don't ovulate, and then when you do ovulate, your progesterone is being bioconverted to cortisol at a rapid pace, and progesterone is necessary to maintain pregnancy. This is why a lot of people have a difficulty conceiving when they are under high stress. This is also a reason why people under high stress, you can have cases of miscarriages around stress. The thing is, in medicine, we don't acknowledge chronic stress as a cause of infertility. I want to be very clear with this. And this is a problem we have in medicine, again, with the way we treat women. Chronic stress is a real thing. Let's agree on that. People live through chronic stress. People will have stress for decades. Biologically proven stress. That is a fact. True. We know that women experience stress at higher rates than men do. That is a fact. Unarguable. We know that when people are under stress, it is very difficult to conceive. That's true. So these three things are facts that are known. With that said, the current medical paradigm does not acknowledge chronic stress as a cause for infertility. They just keep to things like, male factor infertility if they ever come to that. But they always go to first with anovulatory cycles or having PCOS or, tubal, they have all these things they would look to first, but they never say stress is the cause. Why that's important is because when you as a woman go to your doctors, if you develop the courage to finally speak out and not self-silence and be vulnerable in that room with that doctor and share with them that you're not able to conceive and this is something that's hard on you, and your doctor doesn't find any biological reasons because he's only looking for that, and they say there's nothing wrong with you, that is gaslighting. That is the pure definition of it. And then what they do is they push you towards in vitro fertilization because that's the business model. So why I'm tiptoeing into this space and making sure I'm careful with what I say is because I want to offer you something better. And I want to advocate for you and tell you there is a better way of doing this and you deserve that. When a doctor sees you in that space, a better way to approach it would be to spend time to understand you as a woman and what you're going through, what your experience is. To run labs more centered around that stress component, understand your adrenal labs, run your cortisol, maybe cortisol times 4, figure out what's going on, look for stress metrics in that case. Monitor for ovulation, spend time understanding her. Then you create a protocol to help treat the stress. That works. I've been doing this a long time. I'm getting old. I told Evelyn this earlier. She saw a picture of me when I first got married. I had long hair. I was a hippie. And I was just remembering that. But I've been around a long time. And in this time of being here in this space with you, I've seen babies born when women were told that there's no other way. Stress is a real thing. And you deserve help around that and care around that. The next episode I'm going to do is going to kind of sum up the whole self-silencing that occurs and sum up the way that impacts your body. And then I'm going to go into real-time ways to manage this and treat it. I want you to know as a human being, I know Not everyone can go to therapy. And I also know when you go to therapy, it doesn't always work right away. And I know that's a longer process for many of us. But that doesn't mean there aren't other things we can do. When I discussed this in previous episodes, and a little bit today, I'll talk about more too, is the impact that stress has on your biochemistry. We can mitigate many of those things with lifestyle. Circle breathing or box breathing, cold plunging, cold packs to the neck here on the vagus right over here. There are different therapies we can do that benefit you and help you navigate your road to wellness. There are physical things we can do, some supplements we can do, but a lot of these physical things we can do that are very beneficial. I'm going to go into them. I'm going to go into the biology of them, how they'll impact you, and the long-term goal of using them and what to look for. With that said, these things I'm going to talk about are not meant to be a Band-Aid so that you can just conceive. These things are meant to help hold you over while you do the hard work of changing the way we think. It's like this. If you came in and you're type 2 diabetic, and I can prescribe you metformin pretty easy. That's not hard. And if you took the metformin and continued eating that diet, you probably have good labs for a while. But if I want to be a really good doctor for you, I'm going to use metformin if I needed to, but I'm really going to focus on that diet with you. It's like that with self-silencing. I want to do these really cool things that are going to help your biology. You can measure using heart rate variability. There's different ways of measuring the success of the things I'm going to recommend. But that doesn't mean we can avoid, doesn't mean we need to avoid talking about the cause, which is the self-silencing. So I'm going to dive into that as well. I hope this series has been helpful for you guys. I truly do. And I know some of these episodes have been, real bangers, a lot of comments, a lot of interest. And then some of them is just really flat with crickets. I want you to know that when I make these videos, I only think about one person. I just think to myself, I just need to reach only one person and be helpful to one person, and then I'm happy. That's it. I don't do this for volume of likes. I don't do this for any of those things. I do this to truly have an impact. Having 500,000 views on a reel is not nearly as awesome as having one person become well. One person receiving the benefit from this of being set free. So that's always my goal. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like what I'm doing here, please subscribe. If this is a good episode, you can like it. And if you think someone would benefit from this, please share it. I will see you at the next episode. Thank you.